You're watching Ladbrokes Group 1 year in review, 2020-21, and Bossy and Moods, time for the majors. We start with the Caulfield Cup. What an effort from Very Elegant. She's the anointed one, isn't she, for Horse of the Year, Bossy?
Absolutely, yeah. Odds on for the Horse of the Year. I just love the way she goes about her business. Just her ability to just win a race. She's a winner.
Yeah.
When the chips are down, you want her fighting for you. And let's not underestimate the ride too. It was a very good ride. Tactically, that was a perfect ride, especially down the side there when Mark decided to make that move. That was what won him the race. That one little moment at about the 700 metre mark, I thought was brilliantly just perfect.
You know, she's just continually got better, and Chris Waller's done a wonderful job. He took on an immature, backward type of filly that always showed a lot of talent. And previous trainer Darren Weir always thought, well, this was his Melbourne Cup horse, whether it was 1 year, 2 year or 3 years away. He always had that opinion of her, and Waller's been able to take her through those weight for age grades. So we'll probably never see her in a Melbourne Cup now, because the rating's probably always going to rule her out of that handicap. We probably don't ever get to see her in another Caulfield Cup maybe. But she really came on as the season went on.
It will be Bossy time for the Ladbrokes Cox Plate winner. But we'll get your thoughts on Sir Dragonet.
It was a tremendous ride by Glen. I'm not going to pee in his pocket there. I think his ride won the day. I think he beat up on the horses on the soft ground, which I think he was very suited on. I think if you ask, your favourite 25 Cox Plate winners or top 25 Cox Plate winners, I don't think Sir Dragonet's there.
Hard and honest, as always, what we expect from PG Moody.
Absolutely.
But Bossy, it was one of your best days of the season.
Oh, yeah. For me, it was obviously Huey Bowman got suspended and all the stars lined up when I was asked to get the call up, and it is my favourite race. I grew up, it's my favourite race, and to win the 100th edition of it, it was almost like it was meant to happen. He come out in the autumn and he had a very lacklustre start to the autumn, and I blame myself for that. I gave the guys there an opinion that he could win over 7 furlongs because he trialled up like he did. He was never going to win a 7 furlong race around Caulfield on a hard deck. And so it all went half pear-shaped from then. And it took to get to Sydney for them to actually get him back into the groove again. He ran very well in the Rambet, and then he came out and won the Tancred. And then I give him another substandard ride in a Queen Elizabeth, which was probably the race for the ages of the year. And he got beaten a length and a half. His form's not that bad, and I think he's a very good colt.
Yeah, he's a beauty. Melbourne Cup was twilight payment, and it was a weird Melbourne Cup. Let's face it, with no crowds there, Bossy. Yeah,
it was a weird day, but it made up for it. In the story itself, Jai McNeil winning his first one, and just the way he went about his business, I thought he was a worthy winner. There's no doubt. He took that race by the scruff of the neck, and he obviously hadn't been on the horse, and he had specific instructions how to ride this horse, and he carried him out to the letter, which is hard to do, right, in any race.
Yeah, listen, good win. Got the job done. Lloyd Williams, 8th?
7th, I think.
7th? Yeah. 7 Melbourne Cups, that's phenomenal. That's Lloyd's race. He's targeted that race for, probably the best part of 3 or 4 decades now, and, you can't begrudge him. He puts a lot of money into the sport to target that race, and, well done to him and partners. Yeah, no,
well said. Golden Slipper, it's an exciting day. It's a big build-up. A lot of money at stake. There's plenty of prize money, but when a colt wins it grows exponentially, because suddenly they're worth 25, 30 million, and Stay Inside did exactly that, Bossy.
Yeah, he's a exciting colt, and unlike last year's race, which I thought really lacked any quality, and the form proved it, there was just virtually no winners out of last year. No horses that went on to win.
Yeah.
I think the only one that was real was Hayes' mare that won the Oaks.
Yeah.
I guarantee this race is going to throw up a lot of good horses.
Yeah.
You've got to bear in mind, people believe that Golden Slipper bottoms horses out. I'm not a believer in that. I think the mature, strong 2-year-olds get the job done then, and the horses that are slightly immature then strengthen up and grow and develop, and they come on at 3. It was a very exciting race going in. I think you could probably run it on 2 or 3 different surfaces, and the result could have changed 2 or 3 different ways amongst those horses.
Is that because there were a bunch of high quality horses, or you think it was so-so?
I think the ground leading into the slipper, and there was a few form lines on wet ground and dry ground, and I think there's going to be some very nice horses come out of it.
Give our punters one, Bossy, one.
Out of the slipper?
Yeah. You're saying there's a heap of them. Give me one that they can get on the fixed forward cast. Caulfield Guineas, Coolmore.
Artorias.
Artorias.
I think he's a superstar. This horse, and he's in the right barn.
Yeah.
He's going to get. He went out at the right time. When I looked at him in the enclosure, I could just see so much growth.
Yeah.
And he looked he trolled like he was like a drunk, our way and Sydney way, and he raced in the slipper like a drunk.
Yeah.
And somehow he managed to, when he got balanced
Gather
up at the 3, he actually was the red light one coming home.
The 5th major. Is it the 5th major now, the Everest? Are we putting it in that sort of sphere?
It's a unique race. No,
Right.
it's not the 5th major. No.
Bossy?
It's a unique race.
What did you say? Give Glen a go.
No, I can't let it go. It's not.
Yes, it is.
It is.
100%. It is.
We're a split camp.
Mate, it has captured Australians' imagination.